Hello there, fellow mobile gaming warriors. It's MyTyme here, and this is a first look at NBA 2k16. NBA 2k16. Now, I started NBA 2k15 at the very end of its life. You can still log into the game now. There haven't been any events on it for a while. I'm not too sure if I'm going to be going back to that at all, because so far looks like you can't transfer cards etc. across to the new game or use them to feed your cards or anything. So I think it's a brand new kind of game platform, and you start again. Now, I have played about 100 games just to get an idea of what's going on. Now, I'm going to bring you an update, show you what's in this game, some stuff that I've noticed that's new, but please, I'm not an expert of NBA 2k15. I had only just started it. I only had super rare cards and one playoff card from an event, and literally my deck was useless. Okay, so what is new in NBA 2k16? Well, those of you that haven't played, it is a very similar to a trading card kind of game, and you scroll along and it will give you your various options, and it's basically the same game as before, but it has been tweaked. It had been tweaked quite a lot, to be fair. You know, it's almost like taking a girl, and you give her some money, she goes away for a beauty day, and she leaves as one woman, she comes back as looking like completely different. She's done up, makeup, hair, everything, you know, her nails, her eyes, and you look at her and you go, now I know it's you, but you're different. There's just a lot more. There's a lot more to you now. There's just, you know, there's stuff that I never noticed before. You're like a god now, and that's almost what they've done here. Let's just go and just basically go through everything. So now the main thing you're going to play at the moment is quick game. Okay, now I have some better cards from the start stage. Played 107 games, and when you first log into the game, it will give you a starter cards. You can do that. You can also do a season. I haven't done a season yet, but I'm going to do that with you guys now so you can see it. And what is new? So right now they do have an auction house. Okay, so you can come and auction your cards straight away from the game. If you come into this auction house, I never used an auction in the old game, but for example, if you click super rare here, and you can pick what team, the name, you can pick how much it's going to cost you. But here there's RPs, they're your reward points. I've got 2100. I got those from playing the game. Excuse me. You'll get your normal gameplay rewards, okay, and one of them happens to be reward points. I can't remember how many games it is to get 2000. But you can get reward points. On the left hand side of it says 0 are credits. So we will just click search now, and this will show you a load of super rare cards that I can currently purchase for example 5,000 reward points or 2,750, and go down here and they've got to buy now. Now there are bids here, 11 bids, 1 bid, so these are actually live. There are people bidding for them. What it's worth noticing, and I will come to this in a bit with the cards, is some of the cards are valued more than others. Now, if you notice, we'll take any of these cards. Some of them have one empty yellow, black circle with yellow, what do you call it, kind of border. Some have 2, and some will go up to 3, there's space for 3. So like season 1, that'll be where you put your enhancements, okay. So people with 2 slots are going to be more valuable than 1 slot, etc. And 3 obviously more valuable than 2. Now they have these big plus signs like white crosses. If you go up, some players have 2. Now I'm not going to quote it exactly because I am not 1,000,000% sure. So you might want to check the forums, or there is a help. You can find everything out in here, but I'm not going to go through all the help, because once you start to, you know, play the game, it will automatically do some of those helps for you. But if I go to my cards, I will show you a card. So for example, I will just pick up a card, and you can see here. So I have a 1 slot super rare, a 2 slot, and a 2 slot. Now if I were to go and just click on improve, this is how your cards now look out. So we come down and we see playmaking, rebounding, defense, and offense. Okay, so here are their his basic stats at the moment. Now he is currently level 6 out of 15, as with the previous NBA 2K15, you can improve their level by training. Now, for those of you who haven't played before, I will show you what that is. You would click on train, and you can sacrifice some of your cards to improve this card. Now, I'd recommend everyone pretty much, once you've played 3 or 4 games, you're going to get rid of all of your uncommon cards, and you are going to not need them anymore. So you click on them, you click train, you get an image come up. I'm going to skip forward it, and as you can see, he's gone up half a level. If I were to do the same again, and I'll go to my uncommon cards, it's the same idea. You will pick cards that you don't need. Now, I'm not using them all because I'm going to need to use some for my season mode in a bit, but I'm just going to click a few guys. That should be enough, and they will be sacrificed, and now he's up to level 8, and as a result his base stats have all improved. Okay, now what's new? There's a lot of things new now. I don't know if with all the latter cards, so once you get to ultra, epic and stuff, they're the same, but in super rare you will notice that the ability which the cards were given in NBA 2K15 is no longer preset. Okay, so you can't get a card with an ability so far. I haven't found it anyway. You have to pick, and there are, I believe, different rarities of abilities. So as you can see, I can add any of these abilities to my card, so I can give him +5 in defense and rebound, +5 in defense and PM, etc. +8. Now, depending on which one you put in will depend on the trigger. Obviously, a super rare ability noted by the dark blue background will give you a better trigger percent than, for example, a light blue rare ability. And it will show you charges left. So once it's used, I think it starts with 5 charges. I think most of them do. So I will use one just for the sake of it here. Now, this guy specializes in, looks like playmaking, because he's got a plus there. Okay, so that plus means that his specialization is playmaking, as you can see from the specialization box. If you go down, he is playmaking. Now I'll go back to a person who I don't know if I even have any which have 2. We'll have a look if any of them have 2 pluses. I think you need to get to super rare before you have anyone that has 2 pluses in their name, so I can't unfortunately do that, but we'll go back to the improve anyway. And as I said, you can see, so we have someone here whose defense is his speciality. So I will select an ability. I will select an ability with defense, so we'll go Tenacious Rebounder, set ability. Now, it's a 20% chance to trigger his ability. Okay, 20% chance to trigger a +5 to defense and +5 to rebound. If you notice, it also has a 4% defense next to the plus side in the middle of the screen, or this white cross. So specialization, what is that? Now that means if you were to, I believe, put a charge on his defense, and I will click on charge, and you do that by basically sacrificing people who are also defense cards to give him a boost. So as you can see here, his plus is in defense 189. If I click charge, this will show me all the other cards which have a plus on defense. Now if I were to say go to none, here are all my common cards which have a plus on defense. Now I haven't done this yet, and I didn't want to do it because I wanted to go into a season, but you know what, sod it, I will do it. I will click on, in fact, you know, I'll leave you and I'll click on 5 people. Is that enough? Okay, now look, his defense has gone up to 217. Okay, he's got +28. However, here's notice, once he has played 5 defense games, his charge will be back down to 0 and his stats will go back down. Okay, so if I wanted to increase his offense, I can do the same thing again, click charge, and it will bring up all cards that I have. If I click none, that are their specializing stat is in power. So you can sacrifice cards to train your card to make it better, and also to improve stats. However, they're not permanent, okay? Training is permanent, charging isn't permanent. So if you were to go to specialization and click upgrade, this will increase the card specialization level. Specialization upgraded cards owned 1. So I'm going to click no. But you can get these from playing the game, and I believe you can purchase them, and you get them as rewards from quick game, maybe season rewards, I'm not too sure. And what it will do is it will boost whatever your specialization is. So in this case it would be defense. If I were to put a specialization card in here, he would get a bigger boost to his defense. Once he becomes a pro, you can have up to 6 specialization cards, okay? And as with before, you have enhancements up here, and this was what we had in the old game. You can add an enhancement, and this will be permanent, okay? Enhancement will sit there and it'll be there forever. So for example here, I would look and say, oh, you know, somebody with a defense, cool, enhancement, and I'd pick maybe a +8 defense enhancement, and that will stay, okay? So enhancements are permanent, charge are temporarily. You sacrifice cards to get your bonus in the charge, and specialization will improve whatever your card's speciality is even. I can't speak. So as I did point out before, some cards have 3 specializations. Now there might even be a chance that some, sorry, 2, I said 2 specialties. There might be a chance that some have 3 specialties. I can't quote on that yet because I haven't seen the cards, but obviously cards particularly that have 2 specialities, when you use an upgrade, it's going to benefit both stats. So that's why they're going to go for more in the auction house and are probably going to be more sought after in the game. But straight away you can go in and you can buy cards and sell your cards, okay? Now notice here there is a quick sell. I'll click on this. I've seen the little tutorial bit that comes with it. I can't sell this one because it's in my quick game deck, but as you can see here, if I were to come back out and pick a card which I don't have in my quick game deck, and I were to click sell, I can get 8 RPs, which are probably something points, maybe, I want to say royalty points, but I don't know, reward points. What a twat. Of course they're fucking reward points. What a twat. Sorry. Yeah, okay, so you can quick sell and you can get 8 straight away. Go bang. Don't have to send them out for the trade. Don't have to send them out for an auction. Points. And as you can see at the top, you have a weekly limit of 10,000 and you have a daily limit of 2,500. So this is a good way, especially with weaker cards. If you've got nothing to train, you can sell, take the reward points. What can you do with reward points? We'll come to that in a moment. There is also the auction, which I've looked at briefly to set your card out. There is Signer Pro. Now, what I have noticed is you can't evolve cards like in the past. So you don't get 2 cards of exactly the same rarity, pro them up, and then get a pro card that way. Okay, there is no such thing. If you want to feed cards, you just feed them as singles. You can't pro them by combining 2 cards. There's a new system in place called Signer Pro, and you have to get what's called contracts. So if you want to find out more, you play the game. I'll click on Signer Pro to show you this page. You play the game and it will explain it to you. Now, as you can see here, I've picked a good example, Nick Young. The main player must be at max level before signing a contract. So Nick Young must be at level 10. You have to train him up to level 10. And a rookie contract will mean that I need 3 other cards that are Nick Young cards, okay, of the same uncommon variety. To do that, you have to play the game, and obviously it's random who you get. But this is where the auction house is going to come in. And I imagine that they have done this on purpose. These contracts, the auction house, there's going to be so much more kind of trading amongst people. It's going to make the game that you play, and you're going to get rare cards that you're not going to need because you want someone else instead, because you've only got 1 of this card but 3 of that card. And the idea is that you will play and play and play and trade amongst yourselves and sell cards you don't need, etc., to get reward points. So here you get a rookie contract. I also have a veteran contract, and I have a star contract. Now, from what I can understand, and I could be wrong, so please, once again, do not quote me. Rookie contract requires your main card plus 3 of its replicas to make it into a pro. This card in the middle with a question mark, I got it from reward. It is I can't click on it to show it. It's a wild card. So this can replace any card, okay? So if I, for example, only had 3 Nick Youngs, the main card and 2 on the side, I could play the wild card in the middle and it will count as another Nick Young. Now obviously I would not use this on a uncommon card. You probably want to save these up for later on in the game when you're into the ultra rare, epic, legendary tiers, and you're going to find it harder to get duplicates, and you're going to also find it more expensive to sign them in the auction house. You will use these cards here. Now if you happen to get a veteran contract, it looks like you need less cards, okay? And obviously I'm going to guess if you get a star contract, you will only need 1 card, okay? So it looks like a rookie contract requires 3 duplicates of your card, a veteran contract requires 2, and a star contract requires 1. And once you have this, you would then pro them up, and they will get the pro sign, the crown, and their basic stats will improve. I believe any enhancements, etc., on them will carry over as well. I will just double check that very quickly. This is the only one I'm going to go to. What was this? Creating a pro card. Okay, so yep, Grand Pro version of that card when coupled with a signed contract. So as you see, the star one would mean you need 1 more, you get the gold crown. This is showing you 5 people, so I'm going to guess that as your card gets better and rarer, you will require potentially more cards to make it a pro. So as you can see here, the main one in the middle, and it's got 4 on the side and a star one up there. They're consumed and they go. So pro players have better stats. We already know that from the first one, and they can be increased to higher levels. Those who haven't played a game before, you want to make your cards into pros, your better cards, because it makes them stronger. It didn't show me there. Maybe it will show me on the enhancements page. You can get them from the daily picker. Okay, yes. When a contract is signed, the resulting pro card retains all the enhancements on the main card. Okay. If you played NBA 2k16, then once you made a pro, you lost your enhancements, and you'd start again. In this now, whatever enhancements you've got on, they will stay. And as you can see on the picture, you gain an additional slot. So if you had 2 slots, you would turn to 3 slots. If you had 1 slot, you would now get 2 slots. So that's good. That's good. Enhancements are not quite as easy to come by so far from what I've found. They tend to have a lot more stuff to do with charging people in the temporary boosts, so the abilities and stuff, which obviously only last for 5, 8, 10, depending what rarity you have it on. And I'll click on abilities here just to show you this. Abilities make your player more powerful by sometimes adding stats to your players for the game. As you can see, 8 charges here for the super rare, 32% trigger. Go up, abilities have a chance to activate. The trigger percentage shows the likelihood the ability will activate. And if we carry on, the percentage is based on the rarity of the player. So as you can see, a Shaq, for example, has a better rating from this tenacious rebounder compared to the super rare version of it. So obviously the rarer the ability, the higher the trigger rate, and then also it factors into the rarity of the card. So the same ability on 2 different rarity cards is going to yield a different result. But if you obviously drop down to a rare ability, for example on Shaq, it would probably be about the 25%, while on whoever this other guy is, it would be probably about 15%. So they can use those in seasons, quick games. Each time it triggers, a charge is used. As I pointed out before, once all the charges are used, the ability will disappear, and you can then put another ability on. Okay, so that's the basics of the game. You will go quick game, you pick your team, and you then play people. This is how you will get the majority of cards and level up. Those that haven't played before, you have 5 positions going from point guard that shot guy. I don't know all the places. And you have players which can play in those positions. I've got a guy here who is SG and SF, means he can play in both positions. Bottom left tells you that he can play in both positions. So the next guy, SG Brady, for example, Bradley even, he is plays in the SG. Now if you look at my actual team, you will notice that 4 of my players have a green, like almost kind of like glowing at you, couple of letters in their images, which lets you know that they are playing in position. Now the guy on the far left, who is in the point guard with a C, that lets you know he's out of position. So if a person plays in position, they get a bonus to their stats during the game. If they play out of position, they don't get a bonus. So it makes you try and put your best cards. Sometimes we'll go out of position and put weaker cards in position for the bonus until you build your team up. So on the far right, you get your supports as usual. You can click on support and you can click swap and you can bring in whatever you have. Now I don't have many supports at the moment, especially not good ones. They'll be getting trained away soon. And here is your team. So you can swap your players around, you can train your players from here, and you can go into your quick games. If we go back just to the first page, few new bits now. That they have a login reward. Do you see this kind of glowing trophy in the middle? We click on that and this will show you goals. So play the Mighty Mobile pre-season, complete a season, and I will get a reward. Okay, I'm going to do that now. So I can click on join season, and this will tell me what to do this season. You play 29 other players from the NBA Championship. Games are simulated. You can manage a team at any time. As usual, energy will be used in this game to replenish your players. There is now a cap of 40 energies you can hold. The strength of your season lineup changes your season tier. Your rating determines the rewards at the end of the season. Okay, so begin season, and it will get you over for the tutorial. But before we do, as you can notice here, it looks like we have 3 teams. Now I only ever played, I think, 1 or 2 seasons in the other version of the game. Now, I was going to try and get myself a few super rares and rares before joining a season. But if you can see here, it's put me in with 15 players all in position. Now you can obviously go through, and this is the autofill, you can go through and change it yourself. It has added a support to each team, and it's put the players in position. Now you can obviously swap things around. Whether I would have one team this strong, probably I would do something in the region of this, something like this. I'd have one team. I mean, I think with most of these, if you've been training up some of your cards, I would probably look at something like this and then possibly train them up a bit more. So I've got a couple of rare cards that's been trained, and they've just put in some basic rare cards. So I'd try and mix up 1 or 2 of them to give me a strong-ish team. Or maybe I'd even change this. Maybe I'd do myself 2 strongish teams. So I'd look for something like this. 2 super rares in one team, a super rare and 1 or 2 of my trained up ones in the other, and I would then try and win 2 of the games and potentially lose the 3rd one. So you click begin season, it will, I don't know, run out of the points. Now manage your players for the next game. So players lose energy each game, players in position lose less energy. As I mentioned before, if you are playing a person, a SF in the SF role, they will lose less energy than playing, for example, a C player in the SF role. As the player's energy goes down, they don't compete at their full potential, meaning that their overall stats will be reduced until they're energized, as explained on this screen. Now you can team refill down here, 100 RP points. Refills the energy of all players. You can also get an assistant manager for real money credits. Refills all players' energy for 20 games. So they will do all the managing for you, so you don't have to log back in and check on your team. Now I will pull an energy and I will stick it on one player just to do the tutorial. They have to refill them all. I was kind of hoping not. Okay, I think I have to energize them all to complete the tutorial, so we will just do that for a moment. Yeah, you might know more about this, so please, obviously, if I'm saying stuff wrong or if you can help me, let me know. I'm still very new to this game. I'm only here to get the game going. I don't know if I had to use them all, but we've done them all. Final game's finished and you've won a tutorial. Claim your reward. So you're going to get a useless reward because it's only a tutorial, but that's fine. Claim reward. You just completed your goal, so I can go get some more. So there we go. Elia Musa. Done. So that is the idea for season. You should always complete a season with your best players. There's nothing to lose. Now I will click on this glowing trophy and bang, 1 of 1, goal completed, complete a season, claim the reward. So I now get 100 credits, 2200 at the top. Now it's showing you new goals I can do. Draft 3 rare player supports on the draft board. Not obviously, if I'd have done this season before, I'd already have this reward because I have those players. And position really matters, drafting these cards. So now I can potentially get more of these RPs. As you saw, they can go to purchasing cards in the auction house. So it looks really good. Looks like you can actually get a lot of players in this game from the auction house without having to physically buy credits. That would just make it easier for you. Now, just before I go too much further and I wrap it up here, because I'm sure I'm boring you all, there are different cards. Okay, there are new cards in the game, but there is also, and I noticed this by accident, I didn't pay for this, I got this from a pool. Where are you? Where are you? Oh my gosh, I fed him away. I wasn't paying attention. Okay, right. I've got a feeling I accidentally fed the card away. I did. Okay, basically, you can get a card. So I'll just pick a green card for example, which will be Nick Young, and he has it's called a foil card. So the outlining is all gold, and down the bottom it says SFSG. That'll be all gold. So in the middle will still say his picture, his uncommon, the green background, and the lining, the border even of the card is in gold, and it's called a foil card. If we go to get cards, they will show you some of them here. Now I believe foil cards might be slightly more precious than normal cards. As you can see, you can get player packs here for your points. As we scroll down, foil packs require credits. So the only one which isn't is the deluxe and foil pack. Oh, sorry, yeah, correct. Yes, sorry. All foil packs will require credits, but you can pull them. They're just a lot rarer. Themes and others. So standard is your player packs. Themes are for, I think, certain kind of cards if you're after a certain type of card. And other, where you can get RPs from changing your money, is various bonuses. So you can get normal picks, you can get double picks, you can get extras, an extras pack, and that will be stuff like enhancements, specialization, tokens, wildcards, etc. And you can also now purchase the contracts pack. So as you saw me winning them earlier, I had to think, I'm gonna stop playing with that pencil. Having, I think it was 5 bronze or rookie, 5 rookie and 1 veteran, I believe, contract. You can purchase more contracts here. So that's the game in a nutshell. There's obviously going to be more coming out there. It looks like seasons changed slightly. I don't know what the events are going to be like. The quick game is the same. The only difference with the quick game, and I will show you now, is the way it plays out. Okay, in fact, you've watched this long, I really appreciate it, guys, and I'm going to just show you one game here to show you how the games have changed slightly. Rabbiting on and wrapping it up. So, your 5 players down the bottom. As before, you're on the left. So the left is the attribute that is applicable to your team. Right is the attribute applicable to your opponent. Now, if you notice, each card has a kind of a white border-lined arrow with a black background across one of the stats. Now, that's letting you know what my specialization stat is for each of those. For each of their specializations, so I know which specialization each of my people have. Now, it doesn't matter to me because I haven't boosted any of their specializations, but it is telling me. Now, if we look at my 4th card, my PF, I put one of those, if you remember, ability cards on him, charge cards. So it's telling me he's got a 20% chance of getting +5 for rebounding. Okay, now I know that because I put it wasn't an enhancement, was it? It was a, what's it called? An ability. I put an ability on him which was +5 to defense, +5 to rebounding. Now this is reminding me that he will benefit from rebounding +5 for this match. Now, if you notice, it will say offensive, defensive, rebounding, and playmaking on the left-hand side, and obviously you can read across for the stats of each person. The stat in gold highlights the current stat. Okay, so it's not telling you that they're getting a bonus; it's just letting you know that that is the current stat that will be taken into consideration when playing this game. So I had to pick a person, and for the green plus arrows next to their numbers just lets you know that they're getting a boost because they're in the correct position, where my center guard or whatever he is called, the guy on my far left who's out of position has no arrows. So I will go ahead and play the guy I boosted. Now he should win this pretty easily. Oh, not as easy as I thought. Now he hasn't boosted, and the boost didn't come off. It would have come up with a little animation which lets you know that he had boosted. And now we come into game number 2. Now, the difference between this and Season Card 1 is you use all 5 cards. You will play 3 solo matches and 1, should we say, tag team. Now, from what I can tell, there is no advantage of tagging people together. It will just take your cumulative points and work out who wins. Now, I have gone into the overtime, and I will mention it at the end. But here, once again, we're on rebounding. Now, I have a rebounding bonus for the sake of it. I will attach it, which is going to be +7 to both of my people. So I will come out here, and as you can see, up comes my bonus, up comes the glove saying +7 to their stats, and I win. So at the half-time point, I'm 59-44 up. Now we've got rebounding again. Luckily for me, I have another character with a reasonable rebounding stat. Boom! And we have won the game, because we have won 3 out of 3, which means even if I lose here, I will have won 3 out of 4 quarters, which means my overall points will exceed my opponent, 113 to 88. Now, if you win 2 and draw 2, I can't quote if it's guaranteed overtime or not. Okay, for some reason, some of the people aren't actually coming up. I don't know why. I've had a few people like that. So I'll play another game and just see what happens. But this will be the last game. But yeah, if you are playing and you end up drawing after the main game, I had a situation where it come up with all my 5 cards were back again, and it said, for example, like here, offense, and I just picked one player and we went 1-on-1, and then you picked a winner. So literally it'll give you, looks like it'll give you a stat. You pick your best player. This guy's got an ultra rare already. You'll pick your best player for that stat, and then it will give you a winner. That might be me being a little bit naive, but that's what's happened with me. Now I don't know if there is a case that you can go 2-2. We'll see if it happens here, and it isn't a draw. So at half time, I've won 1, he's won 1, and we're drawing. So let's see if I can get a draw. Choose 2 players. So I want to try and lose this. So I'm going to pick my 2 weaker players to try and lose. And I won. Okay. Well, I can't get the draw, I'm afraid, because I'm definitely going to win this one. But yeah, I think if you get the draw, the overtime comes out, you play one game, but you have all 5 players at your disposal. So where in the past my tactic sometimes, especially when I was playing against harder people, was to potentially throw the first game or the first 2, win the next 2, and leave myself a medium person for the last card, because the computer would always leave the worst card in the deck to the overtime. So as long as you could put yourself into overtime and you had any kind of mediocre card, you would always win. So you just had to win 2 of the first 4 and you knew you were going to win the overtime. But now that seems to have changed, so it probably means you want to level up your cards as you go, and that kind of tactic of putting in a weaker card to sandbag your team so you can get 4 stronger cards and a weaker card to keep it in the same, say for example, tier, rather than 5 stronger cards, which is going to make you harder but get you harder opponents as well, has been nullified, which I think is a good thing. I think it's good that you have to use all 5 cards, so it puts an emphasis on you trying to actually balance your team out. But thank you for watching, guys. This has gone longer than I anticipated. I just wanted to show you the game, show you kind of what's going on, show you about the proing people now, about collecting those cards, you know, about the whole idea with the new enhancements, with the new charging system, with the specialization, everything. So it's quite a lot. It's quite a big change. In fact, it's a massive change from NBA 2K15, but I'm hoping it's going to be good. I'm hoping as well that I will get into this because I'm starting it from the beginning, and I might even do a season. If I do, I might do a video in a day or so, 2 days, and show you how it's going. But please leave your comments, leave a like if you fancy it. I'm just starting out with this game. Any information that you may have or any tips that you may have if you've been playing it, please, you know, let me know, because I do want to get involved in this, and appreciate any help or any support any of you guys can give me. I've been MyTyme. Thank you for watching, Warriors. Peace out and good luck with your game.